Hello. What's up? What's up, haters? First thing I do when I wake up, I make sure that everyone knows that I know they're a hater. So, what's up, haters? What's up, haters and gamers? Okay. Okay. So what are we doing today? That is a question. That is a good question. What are we doing today? I'm trying to see where the hell can I place my mic and you can still hear me. I would assume that you can still hear me like this, but let's see. How does it sound? Let's monitor our sound. It sounds pretty bad. This sounds a lot better. So, what do we do? What do we do? That is a question. I can use my gaming mic. Can you use my headset mic? For now, I think this mic is okay. We'll just put it here, and do everything else. So what is up, gamers? What is up, haters? Cheers to my haters. Cheers to the ones that we some. I have a wicked headache right now. Wicked headache. And you know what I'm not gonna do? Not gonna take any of these. Not saying that if you have a headache, you should not take ibuprofen. Take it as your doctor prescribes. This is not medical advice, okay? I'm not a medicalist. I'm a physicist, okay? Barely. Barely a physicist, okay? But anyway, so what are we doing today? Today we are organizing our life. But first of all, I have water here, actually. I don't even have to get up. I don't even have to stand up, okay? One of the tenets of a healthy life, as we all know, is to sit down as much as you can. Stay seated, okay? Stay in your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, stay in your seats. Second tenet of winning life is... is to pour the water off screen, do the interesting thing off screen, okay, off camera, and spill some water on yourself. Third thing is to fill up on water and make sure everyone can see what you're doing. Look at this. I'm about to... Yummy, yummy tap water. Let's go. Filled up on some tap water, okay? Fluoride levels increased. Testosterone levels decreased. We're ready to go. Okay. Okay. Nah, but seriously, dude, what are we doing today? So today we're dude, today we're improving our lives and stuff, right? Okay, so I just watched a PewDiePie video on how to improve your life. So I just watched a PewDiePie video on how to improve your life, and I saw through everything. I saw the Matrix, dude. And one of the points that he said that I agree with, that Plato copied from him, Epictetus copied it from him, Aristotle copied it from PewDiePie, okay? If you look at the source for Meditations, what is the Republic? If you look at the source for the Republic, okay, one of the things, if you scroll all the way at the end of the original Greek writing, okay, if you look all the way at the back, one of his sources is Felix Schellberg, which, as we all know, is the real name of PewDiePie. Okay, but one of the things that he mentions is habit building, and habit building is incredibly important in terms of figuring out what you want to do in your life, right? Of course, to figure out what you want to... No, what? Sorry, my head hurts. Habit building is incredibly important in terms of not figuring out what you want to do, but once you've figured out what you want to do in your life, actually enacting the change in your life that will produce what you want to happen. That is all about habits, okay? One example, pour exemple, okay? Pour exemple. What you might want to do is you might want to make some gains, okay? So you might want to go to the gym. And so if you go to the gym is one of the easiest things. The reason why the gym is so popular, okay, is because the gym is one of the easiest things that you can do that will have some noticeable change, not only in the weights that you can move if you're weightlifting, which you probably should do if you're going to the gym. Weightlifting is good along with cardio. But if you're weightlifting, not only can you see the numbers move as you're moving more weight. Oh, I did a 95-pound bench this time. Now I can do a 105 bench. Now I can do a 115 bench. Wow, I can do two 45 plates. 145 plate on each side. Holy, that's pretty cool. You know, you can see the number go up. Not only that, but you can see some visual change as well. That's a little bit more delayed. It doesn't come as readily. But if you have extreme body dysmorphia in a positive way, you'll see the changes happening as soon as a day. So anyway, but yeah, that's why the gym is so good, because you have both the short-term rewards in terms of seeing the number go up. You have the long-term rewards in terms of seeing your body transform over time, but also the hidden third thing that you develop, or that you see yourself developing, is the ability to make some sort of schedule or some habit out of something and continually doing it, even if you lack the motivation. Because the only way that you're actually going to see progress in the gym is if you go there for longer than a month consistently. And if you can do that, then you already pretty much have a good working for developing some sort of habit. I'd say it's very easy. If you go to the gym, let's say for 2 weeks in a row, and then you drop it on the third week, it's very easy to slide out of going to the gym. But if you do it for a month straight, that's like what? That's like almost 4+ weeks, 4.5 weeks. It's quite a long time, okay? You're probably going to stick with it because it's probably become a habit. So my head hurts like shiz-nizzle, dude. My head hurts bad. But I'm not going to do anything about it except for drink water. I should hydrate. Had a little bit of some cool wine tasting tonight at a mini Christmas dinner. Of course not in this joint, okay, because this joint is too nice for a Christmas dinner, okay? This place is more like a 5-star Michelin, 3-star Michelin, whatever the highest 2-star Michelin. I don't know how they rate it, but that's what this place is, okay? But anyway, I talked about the gym because it's one of the easiest gateway drugs into forming like good habits. That's why if you're a degenerate, if you're a loser, if you're someone who has nothing going on for them, and someone tells you go to the gym, it's kind of good advice. It's a good start, because usually a lot of peripheral things are fixed by going to the gym, not because you're lifting the weights or anything, but because a lot of times going to the gym requires you to go outside of your house. It requires you to, in turn, if you really want to be effective in the gym, you have to get a better diet. You have to be consistent. You have to, do something that is painful. Nobody likes going to the gym except for like really like, buff dudes like Sam Sulek. He likes going to the gym. Good for him, dude. You can tell. But if you're not one of those dudes, then hey, going to the gym is a good lesson to learn, okay? Going to the gym is basically going to school. Okay, you're going to learn to do your homework, put it in on time, ace the exam, which is your 1 rep max, graduate, which is hitting a 225 bench, a 315 squat, and a 405 deadlift. I guess a 410 deadlift? What would put you in the 225 plus 315 plus 405? That's 745. Oh no, I didn't even put the 225. That's 945. So you need like a 425 deadlift. Let's say a 235 bench. Let's say 245 bench. 440 deadlift. Okay, so a 245 bench, 315 squat, and a 440 deadlift to reach the 1,000 club. That's when you graduate. Anyway, that's a big aside, but So what am I talking about? Forming habits. Okay, something that I'm struggling in. Me as a person, one of my struggles right now, okay? And I'm not afraid to admit it. I'll admit it, okay? One of my struggles. I can be playing Spotify right now. I could. If I stack it above there. Nah, let's not do that. One of my struggles, what are my struggles? I have a few goals that I want to do right now. Okay, so I've kind of compiled this into some sort of notes thing, which you're going to see me translate. Okay, I'm going to be translating notes from one application to another because I kind of changed my mind midway through. And what else? I'm going to be doing that, and we're going to discuss how we can start putting these things into action, okay? So come along with me for the ride. Come along for the ride, okay? Come along for the ride. Okay, so camera scene change. Scene changed. Now you get to see everything that I have here, but one of the important things that I have here is freeform, okay? Which I will be doing to demonstrate this, okay? So I've got a couple dumb things here that I can probably delete. Delete that. New video. This is probably important. Testing freeform. Delete this untitled thing. Okay, and so what we're gonna do is we are going to make a new board on our iPad over here, okay? Because we've got, through the power of the internet, okay? We've got an iPad coming at you live through the power of the internet. Okay, we've got this that we're going to rename. What do we rename it as? We rename it as... What are we going to rename it as? What is going on here? What's happening? What's happening? What are we going to name this? Goals. I'm going to open it up on a screen you can see soon, okay? Just calm down. Just give me some time. All right, there we go. Goals. We have it open here. Bing, bam, boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Now then, let's... Bro, why does it take time to update, bro? What the hell? This is quite slow. This is not as fast as I thought it would be. It's probably because it's not... I don't have my Mac updated to like the very... The most high-speedest, updated power, whatever. But anyway, okay. So what are we doing? We are transferring notes from this. So there's a little video that I saw. There's a video that I saw by this guy. I forget who it is, but he's a Harvard graduate, okay, who was like, this is the best way to write down notes or whatever. And one of the things he suggested was like this little like bubbly kind of diagram thing where you start off with some central point and you do some little branch off things. And the logic behind this is that the way that the mind thinks, the mind does not think linearly, okay? So usually, if we're doing stuff... So let me open up a new text edit document. New document. Okay. So usually if we're doing stuff on like a computer, right, the way that we do it is like, okay, I'm doing stuff to do. Like this is our list and we're like, get money. And it's like, how do we do that? 1, start business. 2, hire people to do work. 3, get their money that they make from the work. Right, this is kind of like how we do stuff on a computer. We kind of write linearly, and we gotta like scroll up and down. And this is a relatively good way to take down notes and ideas. Okay, I used to do this a lot before prior to today, so I've done this for a long time. But one thing is that my methods are not perfect. I don't really encapsulate everything into my mind perfectly. One of the ways that I figured out that I encapsulate things better is by actually just doing just pretending that I'm explaining this to someone else. So this method, for example, when I was studying, a lot of the times what I would do is I would record myself studying, and I would do something similar to what I'm doing now. Right now I'm live streaming. I'm live streaming to nobody, so effectively I'm doing the same thing as just recording a file onto my computer that nobody else will see. But at least now I have an excuse. I can pretend that there's someone on the other side. But yeah, one thing I would do is I would live stream. I would record myself studying, so I'd have my work here on the screen over here. Okay, you could see my work over there, and I'd be explaining it, I'd be walking through it, and that would help solidify some ideas that I was thinking of. And that helped a lot in terms of developing an understanding. But one thing that I kept going back to was that everything that I would write down was effectively worthless. Okay, I would never go back to my notes because it's always a mess. You know, you have to flip through a ton of pages, and it's just garbage. Okay, going through notes is horrible because a lot of the times I write it, it's nearly illegible. The structure is kind of not understandable because a lot of the times the way a lecturer would write it on the board or a professor would write it on the board, it's kind of in like a mishmash way. They jump back and forth. Oh, by the way, this thing, they erased the whole whiteboard. They've got like 2 layers, so they're writing up here and then they scroll it up and then they're writing down here and then they reference something up there. It's a mess, okay? So I thought that this would be a good idea. Instead of doing things linearly, writing straight down in a notebook like you would do. And also another thing, I spent quite a lot of money on this iPad, okay? I can't let it go to waste. I gotta do something with it. So one of the unique things that an iPad can do that you can't do with anything else is kind of this infinite canvas thing. So bye-bye to the old list. Now you can do sort of an infinite canvassing where you can kind of zoom in, you can write stuff, you can scroll around, and you can kind of connect dots and do that kind of thing. So I brainstormed a little bit. I tested out this circular, non-linear note-taking, okay, if you want to put a fancy word to it. I tried out this non-linear note-taking for goals that I would want to develop really kind of in the next year, but I don't operate on a New Year's, new me basis. I try to operate on a way where it's, if I want to put something into action, if I have the idea to put something into action, I'll try to implement it as soon as possible. So I wrote down these notes. I wrote it in an app. I forget what it's called. It's called Concepts. I wrote it down in an app called Concepts. But then I realized that probably for personal stuff, I should probably use something like Freeform because Freeform is cool in that one thing with Concepts is that the free version of the app is kind of, it's not garbage, but it's just not that good, right? The free version of the app is just not great. So I thought, okay, might as well use this app, Freeform, because it's a free Apple app and it's a lot more involved. Like you can, one thing that I like with this is that if I wanted to, I can type text and it would just kind of, it would update, you know, in real time, and I can kind of just write it wherever I want. Because sometimes I do like to write down things with a keyboard because I can type faster than I can physically write with my hand. So sometimes I like to do that just to make things a little bit more neat. But for this, what we are going to do is we are going to basically just copy down what we have here in this thing. We're going to copy down what we have here and put it into Freeform. That's what we're going to do. Okay. What to do is we are just checking my stream, seeing how things are. Are things looking good? Are things looking nice? You know, that's the main concern. Yes, things are looking good. Things are looking nice. Okay, great, great, great. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay. So, freeform, right? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? That is a good question. It's kind of awkward to do this with the mic right in front because the mic doesn't give me the best mobility. But it'll do. It can... Hey, city boys make do, am I right? Should I use this? This is pressure sensitive. Let's get a big eraser. This is pressure sensitive. It's not the biggest thing in the world. I probably don't want to use a pressure sensitive thing. Let's just use a line to do some line art. Okay, and let's do this. Is this fine? It updates slow. This kind of sucks to watch in real time, but for the sake of like note taking and stuff like that, this is pretty good. There's like a little piece that I haven't erased on the board. It's kind of annoying to not be able to see it because I also cut my hair today shorter than usual, so I'm kind of getting hair, like little specks of hair on my iPad and stuff like that. But okay. So let's zoom in to 100%. And let's start. So one of the first things, so while I'm copying all of this information down, okay, one of the things I want to discuss are what are these goals that I kind of have in mind. So I've kind of roughly split them into two little sections. One of them, why can I not zoom in? Okay. Yeah. One of them being more academic stuff and then one of them being more personal stuff. So in terms of the academic stuff, one of them is to get an A in one of my classes. So whether that includes physics or something like that, whatever the class may be, but I want to get an A in one of them. So far, the highest I've gotten is a B+ in one of my STEM-related classes, which is decent, but I feel like I have the capability of getting an A in one of the classes if I really try. This semester, I've got the closest I've ever gotten. So, you know, if I'm getting closer, it's right around the corner, okay? And that class that I got a B+ in, I definitely could have gotten an A- in it if I just paid a little bit more attention in class and if I had read the textbook along with the lectures. So I kind of know what I need to do, but anyway. So first goal, get an A in... Oops, okay, now the eraser is too big. Get an A in class. And let's highlight this in yellow. Let's make it a bit bigger. But yeah, get an A in class. Why the hell does it look so bad in this? This looks horrible. What the frick dackety doodah? Is the undo not working? Okay, now it works. Now I can highlight it like this. Why does the highlighter look so bad, dude? What the hell? I guess I can decrease the opacity a lot. Does that fix it? Yeah, okay, that fixes it. Just decreasing the opacity. But yeah, okay. Get an A in a class. And so, how am I going to do this? Herculean task, you might ask. Well, one of them, in this top corner over here, is to build good study habits. So what do I mean by build good study habits? Well, pretty much that just means studying for... What the hell, dude? Dude, the trackpad, like the zooming in stuff, sometimes it just doesn't work. Why is it not working sometimes? Can you just please let me zoom in? Dude. Okay, that's really annoying. Why is it doing that? Something on the trackpad, maybe? I have no idea. That doesn't seem to help a lot. But anyway, one of the ways that we can kind of get an A in our class is by building good study habits. So build good study habits. And what do I mean by building good study habits? Well, this means studying at least 1 to 2 hours every day. Study 1 to 2 hours every day. And so one thing about this, actually, can I select this and move it? Yes, I can. That's another thing that you couldn't do in the previous app. You couldn't move things around without having to pay, which is really annoying. But yeah. So study at least 1 to 2 hours every day. Okay, I think that's a pretty good compromise. It's a pretty good thing to do. And so how would I do this? Well, the way I would do that is by probably doing it in the early morning or before bed. So probably in the early morning / before bed. Okay. And this can include time spent reading to do homeworks. And speaking of homework, another way I can get an A in the class is by actually properly really working on the homework. So a lot of the classes, what they like to do is they give you like extremely difficult homework. It was just like really grind it out, work on it for a long time. Maybe collaborate with a couple friends or something. Maybe go ask one of the TAs or one of the graduate students that are instructing the class and get help from there. But when you're taking like 3 to 4 courses, that becomes a lot more unlikely. So a lot of the times what you end up doing is like trying to work on it, and then you just kind of like Google the problem, and then you see like what some person wrote on Stack Exchange, and you're like, okay, cool. This looks close to what I have to do. So you kind of just apply the same technique and you do it, and you don't really learn too much. So really see work on homeworks. This is something else to do, is to really work on homeworks, okay? And this means seriously grinding on assignments, understand it rather than copying. Okay. And that'll just work to develop a massive level of greater understanding overall about what the hell is going on. So that's one of the first academic goals, okay, that I want to do, is getting an A in class. One of the other academic goals, so I currently work at a research lab. And one thing that I want to do is I want to contribute something large or something significant in my research lab. So let's say contribute something significant in research. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, and how do I do this? Well, one thing, I gotta be consistent with going to lab, And I got to update my mentor on what's happening so I can do more stuff. Always push to do more, not to do less. So be consistent with going to lab, right? And let Shinzan know. So I can do more stuff. Push to do more, not less. Can I export this actually? I wonder. I don't think I can actually export this as like a JPEG or something. That kind of sucks a little bit more. But okay. So these are two kind of big picture things that I want to do in my academic life. So we're going to separate this as the academic part of everything. So let's get this really big yellow color. Just kind of really separate this. And this is going to be academic. Everything below is going to be personal. So you might be asking, now how the hell do we upgrade our personal life? Well, quite easy. Let me tell you, because it starts with one of the most important things to me in my personal life is artistic creation and artistic expression, okay? Because personally for me, I really value artistic endeavors. I think for me, it's a very, very great form of expression, and it's a good way to kind of create something that to me is meaningful and hopefully to someone else could be meaningful as well, depending on how I make it. And so far, I don't think I've made anything that's insanely meaningful, at least not to anyone else. I haven't made anything that someone else can listen to and find something like significant or something meaningful in it. And these are abstract words that don't really have a defined meaning to them. And I totally get that. And in some ways, it's kind of on purpose because I don't exactly know what is my thesis with the music I'm making. But I guess one of the bigger pictures to talk about in terms of like what is my thesis with the music that I'm making is to give a feeling, the same feeling that I get when I listen to like a really, really good song. So a couple examples of like, what are these good songs that you're talking about? I gotta know. Well, listen up. One of the songs that I'm talking about is, let's go to YouTube and let's open up. No, we don't have to. We don't even have to. Well, yeah, no, we do. Let's open up a private window. Yeah. So I can go on YouTube, no problemo. Okay, so I listened up a private window, and one of the first things I see is Family Guy. So that's pretty epic. But one of the songs is Microphones in 2020. Now, this song is great. It's a really good song. If I had to give it my own Fantano rating, okay, I'd probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10 objectively, like an 8 to an 8.5 objectively. Personally, I'd probably be closer to giving it like a 9 to a 9.5. With this video, it's easily like a 9 out of 10. That's pretty loud. But in this video, so Microphones in 2020 basically is a song by The Microphones, aka Mount Eerie, aka Phil Elverum, and one of the things that he focuses on in this song is kind of like it's a really artistic biography of his life, pretty much. He's telling his life story. He's telling about all the experiences that have led him up to the moment of creating this song, and he's kind of looking back on everything, kind of thinking about what it all means to him, and how he can kind of synthesize all of these important, like awe-inspiring / life-changing events in his life into the present moment, into some sort of lesson that he can learn from, that he can move forward, and that he can synthesizing all these lessons into one kind of package that he can kind of wrap up as a nice little gift. Say, this has been what the past like 30 or 40 years of my life have kind of been, and just kind of laying it all out, figuring it all out, and then moving on. So after this song / long song / album, he said that he plans to move on to like newer works, and one of the reasons why he published it under the name The Microphones, this is the first time he's published something under this band name in, I believe, like 15 years or something like that. But one of the reasons why he revisited is to kind of like put the nail in the coffin, kind of. And the music video is entirely comprised of all of these different film shots that he's kept throughout his life of various moments, various experiences in his life. And one of the cool things that he's kind of done in a lot of these photos is he's done like a double exposure thing. So he kind of looks like transparent and he kind of blends in with the background, kind of making all of these photos are memories to him, but it kind of literally makes them seem more like memories. This one is really cool because like he's kind of blurred out, but his friend is totally, seems to be totally there actually, or at least seems to be kind of blurring in near the bottom here. But his friend is like really there, but like himself, he's kind of like more of a blur. It's just a cool like little nice touch. But kind of like watching this for the first time when it came out, dude, when this came out, god damn, I remember watching it like the night it released or like the day after, and fuck, man, it's just really cool. Why is this replayed? I guess he swipes it away. But when okay, all that summary aside, what is this for? The whole point of me diving into this is that the way that I felt when I had listened to the song, when I had watched this as well, I think this video is probably the best way to get across what I'm trying to do with my music, is to very broadly get across the feeling that I felt when I watched this. If I can give someone else that feeling that I had felt when I had watched this video, that would be cool. This is a Coliseum, right? Oh, that's cool. That would be so cool. Because I think this music video is really, really good, man. Very, very simple, but boy, I can imagine it took a very long time to coordinate all of these photos. Some of the photos also match up with some of the lyrics that he's saying. It's really cool. Lost of thought went into this. That's nice. What a nice ending, dude. Watch this whole thing. If you're listening to this song for the first time, watch the entire thing. It's so good, man. It's so goddamn good. But yeah, if I can give the same feeling to someone else, if I can give the same feeling that I had when I watched this video to someone else who's listening to my music, that's the goal. Another one, Duck Koo Kim by Sun Kill Moon. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. This song, dude. Is this an ad that's going to load? Or is it just not going to load at all? Okay, seems like it's not going to load at all. But dude, this song, holy. Not this music video. This music video is like a fan made music video. It's not too great. Let's pull up the lyrics actually. Let's pull up the lyrics to this. Not music video. This song I'd probably consider is one of the most well-crafted songs in terms of instrumentally how it sounds, structurally how the song is laid out, and lyrically what the song how the song is written, what the song talks about. One of the greatest things ever. So it starts off with him. There's like a typhoon coming down, and he reveals it's like, oh, this. So it starts off with like him looking up on his roof, you know, very grandiose kind of scene. A typhoon comes down. Whoa, that's some sort of disaster. Typhoon coming down, that's some rough shit. Look, making the world look gray and alone. God damn, world looks gray. That sucks, man. Like, gray, alone, all bad things. But last thing he says, keeping everyone in and keeping me here with you. So it's kind of like it's kind of like a duality. If you just read these lyrics, if you just saw these lyrics probably on their own and you just read up to this point, you'd probably think like, I guess he doesn't want to be kept with this person, whatever. Like, this is like a negative thing probably from the lyrics. But from the way the chords that he uses, the way it sounds, the way the song sounds at this point when he sings this lyric and the way he delivers it, it's like you can tell it's like, it's not just like a bunch of shit is going on and he's stuck with this shitty person. The way he sings it is as if the typhoon is like some sort of disaster, but it's like a disaster from God in a sense that it's bringing him the best thing that he can ask for, which is staying in with this person. And that's revealed in this next lyric where he says, around you still, don't want to leave yet. So that's him. That's like him describing the scenario where he's stuck with this person and he doesn't want to leave with this person. You know, he loves this person. He wants to be around them. And then there's the next line where he wakes up from a dream. So this starts up. He's woken up from a dream and he sees a typhoon coming in close. This is his reality. And now he's woken up from a dream last night. And his dream is that he was somewhere lost in the war, couldn't feel his feet or hands, didn't feel right anymore. He knew he'd die there alone. So again, very stark, very negative kind of scene that he's painting. Holy shit, a war, can't feel my limbs, and I'm about to die all alone. But he says, but an angel came down and brought me back to you. And he says, man, I'd rather leave this world forever than let this life go the way it's going. The way he's living right now sucks dick, but there's these mystical events like, a typhoon isn't really coming. It isn't really a mystical event, but it's some sort of like grandiose, like this is like some sort of blessing from nature, a miracle of nature. This is like just a miracle from a divine being itself, keeping him with this person. These are all kind of events that they're not really grounded in reality, right? These are fantastical kind of events. But then he talks about his life that is going right now. He kind of zooms back into the real world and he's saying, man, he'd rather just die, basically, than keep living life the way it is. This is just a very poetic way of saying, my life sucks, I'd rather die. And then he talks about a fight that a boxer had. If I remember correctly, Deok Kim is the first boxer who literally died in the ring after a fight, and after that came a lot more stringent practices in terms of like how to referee a match and stuff like that. But he uses this example of this boxing match of this guy who basically he fights for his life, really. Like he really didn't have to stay in that ring until he died. Like, you can imagine if you were getting like beaten senseless. Of course, this guy is actually trained, like he's trained all his life in boxing. But you can imagine if you were being beaten senseless, right? That at some point you would just throw in the towel. You'd be like, I'm literally passing out. I can barely stand up. Let me go. Like I call it quits. I'm out of this fight. But this guy keeps hanging on, stays into the fight, doesn't leave, to the point where he literally dies. He literally fights for his life until he's dead. And so, Sun Kil Moon, the lyrics, he's singing about this boxer that died, and this angel that we've seen throughout this entire thing that kind of brings someone from this fantastical kind of setting to a safe place. This angel that has been throughout the entire narrative so far has been bringing the singer to some place of ease. He talks about now this boxer laying in the square without face, without crown. So he's just beaten senseless, doesn't even have a win. And the angel who looked upon him, she never came down. And then he says, you never know what day is going to pick you, baby, out of the air, out of nowhere. Basically, you can die at any moment. You never know. And then the rest of the lyrics from this point onwards is just him singing, come to me once more, my life, my love. Show me love I've never known. Sing to me once more, my love, words from your younger years. That's it. And then, so this goes on for 5 or 6 minutes. He's singing these words, and beautiful, beautiful instrumental starts playing. Beautiful, kind of like a harp or banjo, some sort of stringed instruments, it's really, really just beautiful, man. Paired with these lyrics of just goddamn, brokenheartedness. Because throughout the entire song, he's talking about these fantastical events that kind of end in something good, right? And then he talks about reality. He talks about the way his life is. He talks about a fight that happens in reality, how just, how unfortunate everything is in life. This angel who comes to save him in his dreams and everything like that, no, doesn't come down anymore. You're just dead. And then this is basically him just begging for that kind of salvation, that something to bring him to some sort of better times, because the life that he's living right now sucks dick, to put it very simply. And at the end of here, then the song turns, has a beat. Sicko mode flip. Okay, ow. It has a sicko mode beat switch, okay, where it goes bum, 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 and then Travis Scott hops on, and he's like, all right. Basically, how to describe it to you Zoomers, listen, I like Sicko Mode too. That's a pretty good song, but I'm just trying to make an analogy. I'm trying to let you relate. A beat switch happens, basically. And then he starts talking about this beautiful sights, which you can basically, the way I interpret it, is that this is his afterlife now, right? All sorts of really cool things now, flowers, everything he loves, everything he loves about the day is coming about. And then he's talking about, walk with me down these strange streets. How have we come to be here? So kind are all these people. How have we come to know them? I kind of interpret that as the people that you're around with in heaven, okay? But anyway, I basically just described this whole thing. God, I described this whole song to say that this is one of the best, well-crafted songs I've ever heard in my life. And if I can even come halfway close to constructing, if I can come halfway close to making a song like this, then I know, okay, I have a legitimate chance of, doing this music thing full time, whatever. The ultimate goal would be to make a song that's as good as this. This is a literal 10 out of 10 song. I think this is a perfect song. There is no way you can make this song any better than it actually is right now. I think this is incredible. Incredible song. But anyway, all of that is to say, what was the point of all that? Well, the point of all that was to say that one of the things I want to focus on is working on making a really good album. Okay? Um, fuck. Oh, my head hurts. I gotta shower soon. I gotta wake up early. Okay, I don't think I should do this for much longer. I think I'll revisit this tomorrow. We'll revisit this tomorrow in the morning. Morning time is more productive time anyway. It is a good lesson for you people, okay? So before we move on to talking about the personal stuff, okay, this is a good place to leave off. We talked about the academic, now we're going to transition to the personal. And so one of the ways that you can set yourself up for success the best, okay, is basically by doing what I like to say is going to sleep on time. Okay, that's basically it. One of the best things you can do is going to sleep on time. Because once you go to sleep on time, you basically want everything. Okay, your body needs to recover, to heal itself. That's when you solidify thoughts, anything that you've been studying throughout the day. That's when you solidify it, is when you go to sleep. Basically, sleep is necessary. Sleep is one of the most important things you can do. Okay, poor sleep quality correlates with all sorts of negative stuff. Pretty much anyone who's living like a bad life, you can bet your bottom dollar that their sleep probably is also really bad. That's not to say that fixing your sleep is going to fix everything in life, but sleep is definitely a piece of the puzzle in a lot of things that can go wrong in your life, okay? If you have a lot of things wrong with your life, one thing that will hit literally almost every single one of them is getting enough sleep. So that's why I'm going to value that, and I am going to get some sleep. And I recommend you do too, for all 0 people that are watching this, but that doesn't matter because recording these things and communicating how I'm feeling, it almost just makes this worth it to begin with. I should do this no matter what. And it's a cool thing that I can look back on later on. All right. Peace out. What did I say? Peace out, haters. Okay? All you haters out there. Peace out, gamers. Peace out, all my fans. Peace out, lovers. Love and peace. Imagine all the people. Imagine. Maybe all the conflicts in the world would be solved if people just studied John Lennon's Imagine.